Welcome to the Instructional Design and Technology Learning Theories Level 100 overview. As the Chair of the Department of Education, you are aware of this course material and subjects to be covered. In this overview, we will be discussing the pros and cons of the course and its presentation. LDT 100 uses clear structure and course organization to allow for students to track objectives during the semester. Utilizing the Quality Course Teaching and Instrumental Practice Scorecard to gauge this course, LDT 100 facilitates in creating an easy-to-follow structure from the beginning. The course is efficient in meeting course objectives and the structure is self-explanatory. The strengths of this course come from its layout and design. The implementation of the self-report feature that was added in each week is an excellent way to gauge individual progress and comprehension. The course also creates an excellent timeline for students to follow within its calendar. Each deliverable was presented in a uniform fashion from the start. The syllabus, of course, provides the outline. However, the course calendar puts the topics in chronological order by the week you are in, along with its dates, making every deliverable easy to find without confusion. LDT 100 provides weekly activities allowing for the community collaboration and peer feedback to support the individual's acquisition and demonstration of knowledge, thus making the lesson a conversation driven activity with practical dialogue and feedback for each week. Another positive for this course is the utilization of Web 2.0 based tools. The students were able to share their original creations in the class, developing their own media products within their portfolios online. Each week, the students were to add and assess their portfolio, which they would create through a portfolio activity that the class could see and provide feedback on. This allowed the students again to interact and learn from each other during each lesson. While I believe the course in and of itself is effective, there are several changes I would like to implement. First, in regard to the self reporting feature, there didn't seem to be a reminder provided either via email or some other notification that would prompt you to assess what you've done each week. Due to the amount of work and peer interaction that is required for the class, it would be easy to go from one activity to discussion to portfolio segment without assessing the progression the individual has made in the course. I'm also not sure that the course learning outcomes and content are continuously evaluated. At times, there seems to be a jump from the week's topic to the discussion topics in the knowledge checks. It seemed as though a student could get off topic following the discussion examples and lose focus on the overall goal of the week. It wasn't apparent that the instructor was providing positive or instructional feedback to the students. Individuals had multiple areas for feedback from peers in their discussions, although I did not come across any acknowledgement on the instructor's behalf on how the students were doing in their assignments or activities. There just didn't seem to be a place for students to observe positive instruction or redirection that may be helpful for the entire class. This type of feedback could provide growth in knowledge from the potential instruction given. This would demonstrate learning, communication, and technology skills that could be applied in future situations if needed. Another aspect I'd like to look at is whether or not the course activities were appropriately paced for the intended learners, and if they were evenly distributed across modules. The amount of information to take in for each class seemed large for a 100 level course. Admittedly, this was the first time I looked at a course in its entirety, as opposed to my typical method of 2 weeks at a time. With that said, each week would begin with a two-page introduction, which included citations and multiple links to other terms on another page to learn and gain comprehension. It made it difficult to assess if the course learning outcomes and the content were continuously evaluated. The lack of rubrics built in for the assessment of each class is a detriment to the students. There didn't seem to be any clear expectation in terms of demonstrating what the learning outcomes should be. A grade would be provided for the work turned in, and students were told what the assignments were. However, what the instructor is looking for in each assignment did not seem clear. There was no reflection of varying levels of participation or discussions. As I stated in my course analysis, a completed portfolio could have varying levels of aptitude and visible proficiency in a topic. Due to this, the question is raised: if all work is completed, will it be considered in the same light, such as pass fail, even if the same amount of work is not put into the subject? The suggested implementations are not criticisms as much as they are suggestions to streamline the course. If these line items were more visible or added, they would be helpful in keeping the course consistent and compliant with the OLC quality scorecard. Providing feedback to an individual student or consolidating constructive criticism for each lesson at the end of the week, students could gain an understanding of aspects they may have overlooked. And the course could then offer multiple opportunities for students to gain information, especially from each other's mistakes. I hope that you found this overview helpful and to take into consideration not only the suggested items to implement, but also what works well for the class. I appreciate your time and look forward to any feedback or questions you may have about my review. Thank you.